What's good, everyone? Happy Friday to all of you. These are actually the intro sounds that I cooked up for our last watch party, which happened a long time ago now. And we need to set one up for this year. We have not done one yet this year. But the movie that we watched on the day that I made this, these sounds are done now. It's taken way too long, and I apologize for that. But everyone will have some new tasty dialogue samples next week. Happy Fridays, Andremic. Hope you're doing well. T-Rom's here. How you doing, homie? Appreciate you. Happy Friday. You've got some wubs this week. Nice, nice, nice. Looking forward to that. Definitely. Yeah, I feel like the samples turned out pretty well in this pack, and they are 295 strong. There are 295 samples in this pack. It's great. It's absolutely great. I've just I was gonna say I've made it past halfway, but we're in the final stretch here. Last 110 sounds or so, 15 sounds. Not bad, not bad. So that'll be fun, and I've also got a couple of new sound packs cooking. One of them might be the return of the old school OhmLab mystery boxes. For those of you who remember those from ages ago, you'd buy a pack based on what you heard in the demo pack. You have no idea what's really inside. It's a grab bag of awesome is what it is. In my opinion, they were some of the best packs ever. So I think those are coming back. I've been missing them. What else do I have for you guys? In regards to announcements and updates and stuff, I don't think I really have a ton. Except if you are currently subbed, make sure that you do grab the pack that's up in the subscriber rewards channel on the Discord, because that is going to disappear. Now that there are actually official packs that are new coming, I figured I'd toss a couple subscribers' way. To make up for not having some for a while. All right, I think that's it. I think that's our morning announcements. I think that's all. I think we can begin class now. It's Friday, so it's the day where we listen to what you guys have made, which is exactly what we're going to do now. For those looking to recreate something like this at home, you just need yourself a few instances of reaktor. This first one, it's just some noise. It's just some noise. It's this. It's being altered a bit by some more reaktor. I've got molecular creaming it out a bit. And then we've got this. This guy is a little one called Beater. As you can see, it's pretty cool. It's very simple. Just flipping through different samples, grabbing a little bit here, a little bit there. Just a little bit of what we need. That's all. And then there's this guy. I'll turn this up a little bit for you. Random chaos. Pretty minimal. It's just there for the random beeps and bloops and squiggles. And then there's this guy. LED, welcome in. It's just a little drum pattern, and it's being run through molecular. So you can hear it's kind of this filtered resonance perk of some kind. I'll turn it up for you so you can actually hear it. That's just giving a tiny, tiny little foundation to the rest of the suit. And that's how that one was made. All right, shall we jump into what you guys made? That's what I think. Saffron, you're here. Oh, nice. Nice. Yes, I thought it was a great session 2 yesterday. It was awesome. And I'm glad that you have a bunch more stuff to play with in Kontakt than you realize. That's always a really nice treat. It's Crawl! Welcome in, homie. Happy Friday to you. Vincent, welcome in. Of course we'll give feedback to Black Metal. We will give feedback to what you guys upload. As long as you're trying to level up, we're going to try and help you. All right, we are going to hit exit out of this one. I'm just going to turn off this background noise entirely here. Save myself some CPU. But before we dip entirely, I thought maybe I would give you a sneak peek of the pack that'll be coming out next week. It is a dialogue pack. It's from a cult classic educational film, if there is such a thing, as if we all sat around and rewatched these educational films after we saw them in class at school. But we call them cult classic because they're now in the public domain and they will end up inside of tracks that are listened to by people who appreciate cult classic films. And the Boards of Canada and such. Free use! Yes, yes. As with all OhmLab packs, you can use the heck out of stuff and not worry about how it's going to impact your music, so that's nice. I just wanted to share a little A-B comparison of what the audio actually sounded like in this film. And then what I transformed it into, because they're all radio ready now, and they really, really sucked before. So this is legit no change to the audio whatsoever. What is in this movie?
I always thought this Aristotle was a real old guy with a long beard, you know, real ancient.
And let's go find that same one. So it's like apples to apples here for you guys. Okay, found it. So here's the original.
I always thought this Aristotle was a real...
And here's the remaster of it.
I always thought this Aristotle was a real old guy with a long beard, you know, real ancient.
So we've got a ton of stuff.
What a beautiful day. It's nice to live in the country. I think I'll walk to the station.
A lot of really, really high quality samples with that super classic sound. This movie is about the five senses, so there's a lot of like explanatory dialogue about how the ear works and about how sound works and vibration and that type of thing. So good fodder for music, indeed. Saf, I thought Aristotle was a really old guy with a weird funky ass beard, right? Yeah, this is great. So you guys will get that in your hands next week. Make sure that you grab the free pack that's in the subscriber rewards this week, like today, while you're here. So that way you don't miss out on it, because that's going to be replaced by this. I think subscribers are just going to get this one right out the gate. And then we're actually going to release, like out into the wild for the public, we're going to release a few different cult classic film dialogue packs that I've only ever made available to the community previously. Just in celebration of us being moved into the TrackLib library a couple of months ago. So that stuff is super, super sample worthy, especially for beat makers. So I want to make sure that stuff is more accessible to folks. The accent was precious. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's good to get some tasty dialogue samples into some tracks, right? All right, so I feel like this will pair nicely with the other movie dialogue packs we've got out right now. There will be a couple of other packs that will go public as well. Gas. The weed movie. It's escaping me right now. You know the one. Yeah, there you go. There you go, Saf. Get you inspired. Anyway, okay, let's listen to what you guys have made this week. Those are all of our announcements today. Public feedback. Who's here? Hey, Anthony's here. How about that? Happy Friday, Anthony. Are you in the room? Yes, Free for Madness. Thank you. Don't smoke weed, kids. Or if you do, just write down the important things that you don't want to forget before you start smoking. Classic. Yeah, Reefer Madness is just so meme worthy, and so is Gas. Honestly, like I know that a lot of Roger Corman films are like thought to be highly inappropriate these days, but some of the samples, you guys, are still just so over the top good. It's like taken way out of context and put into music is so choice. So anyway, we've got a really tight lineup on the dialogue front. I feel we've got I don't know, probably a good 1,000 samples or so between the packs now. Hey, congratulations, Saf. It's been a while for you, hasn't it? I think I seem to remember you saying that you don't partake much, but all right. Anthony is here saying, I don't really know how to explain this one. I watched Hereditary last month, still can't stop thinking about it, and have been playing a lot of Hades recently. This track started as a 20-second horror sting thing, but as I kept working on the idea, it naturally took on this feeling of being stuck in a chamber with yourself and things you can't alter, held in limbo, trying to find a way forward. Ooh, okay, cool. This is like right up my freaking alley. All right, Anthony, let's roll. All right, let me type for just a second because I can't type and talk at the same time. Then we'll roll through this. This is a really good track. Um, all right. First, the drone should come down quite a bit, probably 7 to 12 dB. It can start a little bit louder than it ends up being for the rest of it, but as soon as there's other stuff in the mix, it's really got to be low because everything else has to sit on top of that. And when you're trying to get people to lean in, what you don't want is for the smallest of sounds to be forced. So a bed needs to be a bed. Everything needs to kind of be tucked into the bed or put on top of the bed. And the drone is the basis of your bed. So bring that way down. At 42 seconds, the subtle percussive sounds should probably come up. Um, but be careful. Be careful with competing low-end frequency elements. So it's really tough for those types of things to translate across speaker systems. So be really clever about how you're dealing with that. Use saturation to make stuff louder instead of volume change, and take out the lowest frequencies. So it's not the sub frequencies in the sound itself that's causing a conflict with what you're trying to get out. Make sure that it's kind of light and nimble. You're going to have so much low end and low velocity stuff throughout this mix. You don't need to worry about that one having too much low end. Okay, so you can use infrasound, which is your frequencies that fall below the normal human hearing range. It's frightening to us when we are feeling and hearing a steady influx of these lowest sensations. We're talking like death. Like this is serious danger, right? We are at the core of an earthquake or the ground is ripping open. Like these are not the type of things that we normally encounter. So this is danger, Will Robinson zone. So it's constantly used in horror flicks for this very reason. It's unsettling to people. If you just include a steady subtone in there in that frequency range, it's just going to be uncomfortable and the growing sense of unease. And then if you add movement and rumble to that, you keep it mono so it doesn't mess with your whole thing, and you don't let audible tones through. This is just those lowest rumblings. It's going to trigger fight or flight sensations in the listener because it's going to feel like whatever it is, this danger is now on the move. And that's a pretty unsettling thing to us just as creatures. Okay, so at 232, I like that you're closing out the thing with solid environmental sound choices, but keep building on it. Build on it with footsteps, maybe subtle breaths. Put the listener in to the shoes of the person making these sounds, right? The door didn't open on its own, right? So some footsteps will do a couple of things. One, it gives a body to the actions actually happening, right, in front of our ears. But the other thing is it's going to disclose the size of the place in a way that we haven't had the opportunity to understand yet. We've simply heard the sound design elements, and what we need is the sound effect elements to really comprehend the size and scope of the space that we're talking about. And small reflections off of a foot is a really subtle indicator of that without going overboard and putting in big impacts or anything like that. That'll allow you to keep everything really subtle still. So think of tiny little things, right? Is this a moist environment? If so, then make sure that the footsteps are moist and that you include a couple little drops or maybe even a trickle at some point, right? To make sense of why the environment is moist, right? There's got to be some sort of input of moisture there. Or if it's dry, make sure that the footsteps, maybe they've got a little like sandiness or dustiness to it, right? Yeah, kind of think through what the actual setting is. And then the last thing that's missing in here, if you're going to start including the environmental stuff, is atmosphere, right? So you think of drone as more like a general low-end ambience, if you will. So you need something to sit above it to make it feel like we can take a breath. And it's just going to be a transparent, like room tone, right? It's going to be something very simple. And you can accomplish that by just putting some noise through a filter. and filtering out almost the entirety of the frequency spectrum and then putting a little reverb on there, make it really, really simple, and then modulate something really, really small in there. And then that'll get some buy-in from the listener. Okay. Feels like Voldemort is about to pop out. I like that. Yeah. All right. So people in the chat are liking it. This is good. I like the direction you're going, Anthony. And since I didn't hear from you while we were talking about this, I'm going to put this into a thread because you may have stepped away. All right. T-Rom. Let's do this. This one, Primeval Souls. Something good is here. It's Friday. How you doing, homie? What just happened there? What just happened there? Why did playback just stop? That was weird. Oh, okay, that's just nasty. Ricky's here. Yo. Okay. Hey, Ricky walked in the door and so did Olivia while we were here listening to this. Vincent, it's not sure. Welcome in, guys. How you doing? Happy Friday. Okay, so T-Rom, this is great. I love, love, love this. I did not expect the super left of center timbre on the entirety of the palette when you started with those super classy hi-hats. Like, can we remind everyone how this thing started? With like this super classic. Was not expecting it. I need to find the timestamp for this little impact here. It was at 1. Okay, so this, it's so cool. All of these little things that have these lovely little transients in this odd and eclectic palette that you've cooked up here, all of them can get these really, really beautiful, almost metallic accents on them if you get the right kind of saturation going. So definitely crank the knob a little bit extra on this one, because it feels like it wants to just like have like crescendos. You know what I mean? So make sure that whatever saturation you're applying, you're doing it while recording your automation and actually turning a knob. Don't just like set it and forget it, or click in a couple of peaks here and there to like really drive the moment or something. Like, just let the whole track run and just write a knob. It'll be the best investment of time. Yeah, so many little characters with good timbre in this one. It's really, really good. Yeah, I don't want changes. I just want this, like, make sure that the loudness is like neg 10 on this. A little bit louder than I would normally like, but I feel like it needs the extra sauce for some of these accents. It's really good. It's a really good one. Oh, Anthony's here. Excellent. Oh, man. Yeah. Sorry you missed it, homie. It was great. I think that just keep building on the environmental stuff that you have cooking in there, and really ground it to reality, so there's more buy-in for the listener. Include some footfalls. Kind of disclose more information about the space around us through clever use of sound in that space. Absolutely. Yeah, this one is freaking great. Yeah, I don't want to give you too much feedback on this one, dude. Too scary tracks to start the stream. Yeah, right? Yeah, I'm really digging this one. I want to know where it's going next. LED. Hopefully I'm saying that right. J. Cole type beat. Yo, happy Friday. Oh. Hmm. Hmm.
Just when you say it's all too much, you gotta get away. That's when I feel the pain inside. I know it's real, but there's something.
Oh, and the fade. The fade. Oh, LED asking, when you mean more full, do you mean panning and such? No, I'm thinking a little bit more full disclosure of frequency. So a little less lo-fi and a little less more fidelity in general in that chorus. And then that would make the degradation in the other sections seem so much more impactful and so much more withheld, constrained, controlled. And I think just a little bit more width in general right there would probably work really well with some vocals over the top too. I'm assuming that you're wanting to sell this beat. Wait for the mustard on the beat tag. Okay, so the degradation on the retro section is super saucy. It's like listening through an old VCR almost without that wide tape warble. The kick combo with the 808 is so tasty. It's so tasty. Like, you picked some really, really good samples there. So yeah, if there was just a little bit more immersiveness, a little bit more width, a little bit more low end disclosed, and then maybe just a little bit more accenting in the mid highs. I feel like that it's subtle. Each one of those adjustments is subtle. It's not like, let's blast this in HD full surround. Just a little bit more in each one of those areas, I think, and that's going to make the contrast even greater between those two sections. Be awesome. Yeah, just the amount of like non-disclosure, the amount of withholding that's happening throughout this track is just like, we want more constantly throughout this thing, which is great. Mission accomplished. Absolutely. Yeah, you bet. You bet. Keep bringing more by. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Really high quality. Crawl. Let's do this. It's Crawl. This one's Sahara at 140 BPM. All right. This is fantastic, Crawl. There's a few things in here that I think need to be sorted out, and a couple of little creative ideas. But this track is solid. What if you kick off this track with just like a little rattle in that first little push here in this transient? If there was just like a little kind of thing, let it wash out and kind of dissipate, like it's sand, you know, being kicked to the curb by the wind or something. Hey, Nate, how you doing, homie? I love the string in the intro here, around 33 seconds. I just think that it needs to stay above the bass elements. The bass elements are going to have a chance to blast our face off for the rest of the track. So let that stuff lurk and kind of tease us a little bit in that intro, and then go full on as soon as the string is done doing its beautiful business. It'll just break our faces a little bit worse, you know? The hats, the kind of noisy hats, I think they could be a bit more wide. They're competing with the bass and the kick in the middle in its current position, and also there seems to be quite a bit of velocity on the space around them, which makes me feel like there's not only limiting on that, but there's also saturation on the effects channel, on the reverb channel, which is good and bad. Right, it's good for the impact that it could have if it wasn't in a really busy mix, but it is, so it does cause a little bit of commotion in there. So volume balancing across elements, or of elements across all of your sections would be great. At 150, you can hear when the new bass comes in. It's a little bit too hot, and specifically as it's sweeping through in active modulations, it's hitting a couple of these swell points, and I think it's probably because of resonance in your filter. So make sure that you're bringing down your resonance in a filter if you've got it set that way, as you're going down in frequency and as you're going up into the upper frequencies, because you're going to hit pain points and just mud pits down low, because resonance is just a volume accent, right? 244, just absolutely brutal. I'm absolutely loving the energy, and it feels so inspired in here between like 2 minutes 30 seconds and like 3 minutes or something like that. 3:15. It's just it's awesome. The yeah sample is awesome. Watch out for overdriven noise in the atmospheres. You can kind of hear it. You can kind of hear it. The LUFs are a bit up there in this one. I don't think they need to be as up as they are. I would really encourage you to do group processing. So that's gathering the like sounds together and processing them in batches, rather than putting all of the limiting and all of the compression stuff into just like the whole mix. Just try to batch that stuff, take the sub stuff out of it completely. And I think you'll find that you have much tighter control over everything in your mix, because your plugins will be responding to the behavior of these sounds, right? Because they don't actually know what they're processing. They just know signal strength and stuff. So try to keep the things that are behaving and sounding kind of alike together in shared processing. And I think you're going to find ways in which you can improve your mix that will just kind of blow your own mind, honestly. Vincent saying distortion high-end warning. Thank you. It's Scroll, you are welcome. And in fact, I'll put this into a thread for you because I feel like I kind of talked and wrote a lot there. Oh, nice, Nate. Just getting a little sneak peek of what people are saying here. Everyone in the chat feels like this is great. Syndremic calls out the luffs as well. Liv says want a little more top-end sizzle, especially on the buzzy bass sound. A lot of just like, what mind-blowing kind of comments in the chat. It's really good stuff. You shook some people up. Yeah. Nate, I missed the vibe command. Oh, I miss all my old commands. I need to find like a couple of hours and go through and see if the old plugins got fixed. I would love to get all of my triggers back. All right, so Vincent Isidore is saying, I'm Sticks, some words, or Stacks. I usually make completely different music, mostly singing and rapping. Lately, been wanting to explore other genres and practice my screaming vocals. The instrumental is not mine, but it's made by a friend. Okay, so I can give you feedback on the mix, but really it's your vocal stuff that you're wanting feedback on. Got it. Let's do this. Nice art, by the way. Yeah, people liking this. Yeah. All right. So vocal a little bit more on top. I feel like it's pretty solid all the way around, but I do recommend that your friend process the individual drums and lead guitar tracks with some overdrive so they can keep pace with the big wall of sound from the rhythm guitars. It's a really hard thing to work around, to mix around. So, bringing that down when the lead guitar is soloing, or when the vocals are trying to stay on top, that's the right move there. Fantastic abrupt comeback at 2 minutes 30 seconds. That was fantastic. Downright jarring. It's good stuff. Drummer boy, welcome in. Yeah, lots of people liking this one. Sav saying, wow, this is better than the project I tried to do. Yeah. Ricky's saying, hey, that was great. I love the soft vocal change. Very nostalgic for me. Yeah, it was good. That was good. I like this. You are welcome. Something good. It is Friday. How long? How long, you guys? Before I click on this, because we don't know how long this is. How long do you think this is? Under, over, 2 minutes. Guarantee you it's less than we want it to be, but over under 2 minutes. Wolf Asylum's here. What's up, Wolfie? How you doing, homie? Happy Friday to you. Welcome in. Needs more blast bleats. Oh, no. Yeah, it takes some work to get that stuff right, Saf? Absolutely. Something good says, it's like 23 seconds minimum. Anthony says 212. All right. Let's see what it is. Oh, this is something good and Ian? Cruising. It's a work in progress. 215. Boom. Anthony. Winner. I think you get a donut or something. Oh, that was too short. That was just too short. Like, other than the loudness, like, there's really not a lot here. Because the stuff that I do here that I want changes can just go away from the loudness. Like, the bass feels a little rattly and a little bit too oomphy in a few different places, and it kind of steps on some stuff. But if you bring down loudness, then that goes away. So, and It might just be a matter of a little bit tighter EQ on the low end of a couple of things. I really love this. This is lovely. Yeah. Liv says, had me soloing along. I'd jam in that band. Man. Anthony says, I am currently spinning The Price is White. Right wheel. Wolfie says, way too short. Way too short. Oh, man. Oh, good. Okay, someone else is going to master it, so it's just temporary. This is so good. So tasty. Man. Space Lounge 3025. Ooh, I like that. That was a good jam. Thank you, thank you. Man. Walking in here thanking me. Thank you. You're the one that made the music. Oh, wait. Is that the... That's the... You guys have to... Oh, Far Horizon's here. Save the day. I was like, wait, this is what's in the queue? You guys? Someone out there is sitting on something. All right, this next one up is from Not Sure. Dysphora. A chair. Sitting on something.
Misunderstood, I'm good, but somehow it gets a little empty, just a little lonely. And you're so distant, and she loses interest in my love. You say you feel so numb. What if we become? All the memories are gone. Erase them one by one. Erase them one by I can live without your love. I can't without my drugs. You say you feel so numb. Can't remember what I've done. All the memories are gone. Erase them one by one. Erase them one by one. Time I hit this blood, I go just as numb. If you only what you show me some, I wanna we become. I can live without your love, but not without my drugs. I can live without your love, but not without blood. I can live without your love, but not without my drugs. I can live without you, not without my drugs. It's weird, I'm good, but somehow it gets a little empty, just a little lonely.
That was fantastic. There's a lot of really good stuff here today. This kick is so good. And yeah, my mind immediately went to Sophie as well. And I'm not sure if it's the nostalgia or what, but like the strings with that kick is just such a nice juxtaposition. I feel like it just pulls on heartstrings. And then all the sound design around it, right? It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. Super quick suck back right before the change at 132. Probably make that change feel even tighter and make it a little bit more impressive. Just something like a... It's really, really quick. It's a tiny little precursor. Yeah. Yeah, Anthony, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I love this. This is good stuff. Great full mix sound. I don't want you to change a bunch here. Oh, this sub is a Sophie sample, so yeah, okay. I was like, man, the nostalgia is so real in this one. Thank you for the full disclosure there. That sets my mind at ease a little bit. You've you've really incorporated it well, quite well. Yeah, nailed it. All right, Liv, it's you, darling. Do you feel new? Hmm. Wow. Yeah, I'm digging the abstract nature in this as well. Far Horizon and Ricky, I love the piano as well. It is a really well orchestrated piece. I agree, Wolfie. Welcome in, Prox. I'm agreeing with all of you guys in the chat right now. Prox, hope you're doing well. I love just like the whimsical, like playful sparkliness at the beginning. It's like I don't know. It's touching like my child's heart, you know what I mean? Um 108. I feel like there's something missing in the transition here. You haven't done anything wrong. I feel like it's just like a little Foley element or something. Um it might be a hybridization of a couple of things, but they're probably in your kitchen right now. And something with like a kind of a slicing, like a metallic slicing texture to it. So maybe it's like a combination of like a, I don't know, like a can opener being flipped and then some scissors being closed at the same or almost the same time. Something kind of ambiguous and abstract and ear grabby, and then filter it, make it tasty, put it in there in a subtle way, and then align the slicing action with the bass note starting. 217, I can't decide if I want the kick to be a little bit more filtered down or if the top of it is actually a perfect match for that like really crunchy bit in the hat transient. I kind of want it both ways. Like, what if there was a filter mod on that kick? So we aren't hearing it fully disclosed. Maybe when it first arrives and then it opens up and we hear more or something. I don't know. 250, maybe a little bit more hesitation here. The contrast between what's just happened and where we're going, what's about to happen, is intense and it's extreme. And if there was just a little bit more chance for absolute silence there, I feel like the intro of the big bass and kick happens like right as the other section is resolved. So it's like maybe if it kind of like touches down and then there's like a and then boom, like a little heartbeat or something. Maybe a heartbeat would work. Because there is like this real emotional kind of thrall that's happening here toward the end. So maybe a heartbeat would be a good thing in there. Let's see if Far Horizon's weighing in with stuff here. Zen. Yeah, the granulized ARP in the intro was really tasteful. Yeah, I agree. Could filter it off, have best of both worlds. All right, so you're feeling the same thing I am. I feel like I trust your feels in this. Oh, I'm just reading your comments here, Prox. That's great. The original title was AI Wind Chime. Sorry, Liv, if that was private information. That's awesome. We do love us some process Foleys. Yes, absolutely. Couch, it's good to have you here, homie. Just didn't want to imply that AI had anything to do with it. You know what? It's totally fine if any of you have anything AI involved in your music. It is totally fine. Safe place, y'all. Safe place. You're still an artist. Liv, you are welcome. That was a beautiful, wonderful piece. I want more of it. I agree with Far Horizon here. Absolutely. Man, that was moving. All right. Now it's time for Far Horizon. This one is called Untitled. Just a quick reminder, if you're currently subbed, go grab the sound pack that's in the subscriber rewards channel right now before it disappears. New pack's coming next week. Appreciate all of you. Okay, I have a question for you. Thoughts on being so bold as to actually cut out a few whole notes out of your bass line here towards the end? Like when properly aligned with drums hitting and little fills happening. Just a thought. Just a thought. It's a bold maneuver, but just a thought. Dude, I think this one is fantastic. Worth highlighting even. Fantastic. I think the pauses in the toward the intro or in the beginning are fantastic. They're just tiny little skips. They're perfect. Environmental sounds up, please, around 138. I don't have a lot of like needly critiques that I want you to change on this one. Mr. Bone saying, Mr. or real talkative bass right there, and it's not angry, rare find. Yeah, right? Couch Track says, I would love to hear the drums on this one come up in dynamics and gain at times. Yeah, I could feel that, right? That's like a, it's an emotional impact thing, but I'm thinking like around those fills, especially. I would agree with that. Zen, you're not just being sensitive, man. It's not just you. Mr. Bone, that's the Far Horizon track here in the public feedback. So hit the Discord and find your way to it. They're all here for you to listen to again and again. Ha ha ha! Look at that. Far Horizon's got his bingo card filled. Nice. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Absolutely. Breaks were nasty. Absolutely. Who messed with my world settings? All my snares are louder. Oh my goodness. It's hilarious. Wolfie. Wolfie is here with someone, with something here. Shall we listen? Spaceport Caribbean Alpha Prime. Yeah, do this. All right, I think this can actually the pad in this, the big wow pad, that can come down a fair bit throughout the entirety of the track. The claps are a little crowded. They can be spread out a little bit, used a little bit more sparingly in some parts. So when they are used in a more busy fashion in other parts, it's more appreciated because it's adding quite a bit of rhythmic appeal to the whole thing. But coming back to them the same way each time is feeling a little bit repetitive. I jump up to the top of this list here. Steel drum adds so much sparkle with the chimes in there. I do think that after you intro them at the beginning of the song, they could be processed a little bit more and move back just a little bit into a little bit more of a supportive role, and then let them peak out in these key moments like you do have right now. But if in between those moments, if they can be just a little bit more supportive and kind of blend a little bit more, then I think it's a little bit easier to pay attention to everything else that's happening. The sparkle ARP on the far right at 24 seconds can probably come down just a little bit and then bring it up in sections that need a little extra shine. There's a note cutoff at 5:03. It's a steel drum. It gets cut off halfway through. Claps. Oh, I think I already said that. That's it. Yeah. Just reading everybody's thoughts in the chats here. Thank you, Ricky. Respect the gazelle. Appreciate you so much. Everybody that just got a sub, please head on over to the Discord. Make sure that your accounts are synced between Twitch and Discord. And then grab your free sounds from subscriber rewards. And make sure you do it today because next week we'll be putting a new pack up there and you can grab those for free as well. That's a pretty nice deal. It's a pretty nice deal. Ricky, you're awesome. And Wolfie, if you're thinking that it does meander a bit much, then it does then. Like if that's your opinion, then it does. And you should wrap it up more quickly. If you have a like a clear idea of how or when it should end, just jump in there and make it happen and then see what you think about it. You know what I mean? Yeah, add some leads. Liv says, I like the meandering. Songs having only one genre is so last century. Oh. Speaking of things that are that we just move on from, like last century, here's Cayenne. Cayenne is definitely not last century. Powering into the future over here. This one's called Maybe I'm the Problem Now.
Before I lose what I'm making, they say I'm still in my prime. So why does it feel like I'm faking? Spending all my life trying to do what's right, but I can't find no one that does the same. Try to compromise, but despite my tries, no, it don't ever go away. So tell me, why's it always coming down? If I'm so sweet, why can't it come back around? I do my best and watch it all go south. Maybe I'm the problem now. Bring it back.
other side. We used to be close, but people can go from people you know to people you don't. And what hurts the most is people can go from people you know to people you don't.
Dude, Kyan, this is really great, actually. There's so many different changes and contrasts running through this. There's a lot more to this. Yeah, this is good, dude. Oh, hey, look at that. There's a little hype chest. What do we get? What do we get? Make a costume emote. Oh, make a consume emote. There you go, guys. Choo-choo. It is a little spicy with the overblown there at the loudness. That kind of plosive loudness where you feel like there's like this velocity, like this force hitting you. And you get that overblown kind of noise in there too. It just ends up being a bit much. All right, little baby laser there at the intro was super awesome. I'd bring the sub cutoff up to 40 hertz, 12 dB per octave on this one. 45 seconds in, I think the vocal chop on repeat is insane. I love the short stop cuts on the vocal chops. Man, all of these little typos. I cannot type to save my life. Yeah. In case you couldn't notice. And I really dig the lower chants. You snuck in there too. I really do. All the pitch manipulation on the vocals make this so ambiguous. Really quite appealing. And mysterious. I would deal with the clipping thing. I know that part of it is intentional, but part of it kind of hurts the integrity of the sound. And I think that your arrangement on this one was really, really super great. And that you should treat this the right way and get a lot of attention for it, man. Absolutely. Syndromic is saying, man, the hat's hitting like 18K, piercing at least 2 suns. There's a little bit of frequency control stuff lurking throughout this thing. It's true. A little bit of volume balancing. I do like your playfulness with the pitch. Kind of pushing the boundaries with the vocals. It's good. It's good. The Low Man, welcome in. Happy Friday to you. T-Rom. To T-Rom. What was the sample at the start? Says Anthony. Couchtrack says, I have issues with my higher range too. Sadly, I have two-way monitors. All right, let's listen to this one from T-Rom.
I've got desires of my own. I'll set the fire of let's go. In the bottom of this bottle, it feels like home. Lined up and I'm going all night long. desires of my own. I'll set the fire on, let's go. And the bottom of this bottle is
All right, dude, this is great. I love what you're doing right now. This is a vibe. Understated vocal is great. I think the guitar can come down a touch. It's a really good lick. I think it just come down just a little bit. Great wobble sitting under the voice. It's great, and I love that it's unstable. 121, there's some interesting processing here. That's some funky stuff, and I think that like I would love to hear you like liberate this track a little bit and find something else that you can do that to. I mean, it could be as core and central as the drums. Like you can just mangle the drums. Just something to think about. I love what you're doing there, and I think there's more room for it in the track. Really, really nice use of texture with the muted guitar. It's great. I'd layer in something with the bass whip there this time around at 206. Maybe some Foley or noise-based thing to help grab the ears a little bit differently second time around. 238. Love that you reprised this, the little rhythmic guitar thing. But I would say let's get funky with it. Make it wider, like shatter it and send it up out into space. Make it granular. Play with the pitch a little bit. Get some delay tails in there. It's such a lovely, like ear-tickling sound. That you can just play with that. You know what I mean? There's always room for some granular. That's a good point, Zin. Yeah. Yeah. Always. Always. Yep. People in the chat liking it. That's good. Liv says, yeah, definitely too loud like Ohm Sam, but very satisfying on the air. Seems to be a theme here. Yep. Yeah, you can bring the loudness down in general just a touch. Prox. How are things on the other side of the river? The Lo Mein, been here for 10 minutes. Passion and understanding of music is super inspiring. Hey, thanks. That's what we do here. That's what we do every single Friday. Good to have you in the mix. Stressful? No, don't be stressful. Just make awesome music. Why are you stressing? Deadlines? Money? Zen saying, literally the best feedback station on the net. Somebody give this guy a cookie. Somebody give this guy a cookie. Ah, yes. Deadlines, money stuff. All right, everybody send through good vibes and rainbows to Prox while we listen to this. Stressing over there. This one is a no-name whip. Respect the gazelle. Thank you, Liv. Okay, this is great. Prox, you have these moments. I can just feel it. Like you are sitting over there in your studio space, and when the inspiration strikes, you are like being led by the sounds in your arrangement window. You are. I can feel it, and this is one of them. There's a lot of forward momentum in this. What comes next? What comes next? What comes next? So each decision is kind of informing what's happening. I feel it. I feel it. The energy is really good in this one. Definitely drew us in the intro. I think the hats and everything up high is just, it's on fire. Your luffs are a little hotter than usual, and it seems like there's some extra saturation happening in the upper frequencies here. Yeah, high end needs to chill out. Love that driving saw bass. Yeah, it's just like a great like tribal throb. Yeah, trying out God particle on the master. That's probably why. Yeah, that is probably why. Probably have to take out everything else if you're going to do that. Less is more. Less is more. That's the thing. That's the really nice, rewarding thing about techno. Is that you don't actually have to do a whole lot of more. That's the really lovely thing. Yo, Chris is here. KDHD in the chat. Heyo. Yeah, we're doing well, dude. How are you doing? I mean, it's Thursday. Just kidding. It's Friday. It's Feedback Friday. It's about as good as it gets here. All the way around. Prox says, Underworld's dub-no bass with my head. Headman album got me into electronic music when I was 8. Yeah. It's kind of hard to not like that era of prog house. It's kind of the wheelhouse, you know. Couch Track says, "What Luff's warning? Sitting around neg 5." All right, that's a really good heads up. Thank you. Let's roll with this guy here. We'll turn down just a little bit. Desktop audio heading down. All right, I got you guys down like 5 dB. We'll see how that works for us. Oh, I've got volume control in here. Let me just bring you guys back up. All right, I'll turn it down over here. Here we go. Oh, there's a problem playing this audio file. It was too loud. Why do I need to sign in for that? Shouldn't have to sign in for that. But we're signing in for that. There we go. Wow, Google wants to know who's downloading what now, huh? Good to know. All right, Couch, let's do this. Let me minimize this guy, and we'll get this guy out, and we'll move back to here, and we'll play this guy. There we go. Couch, this was fantastic. You're going to get a cheers for this. That was fantastic. Captain approves. Just rapid fire mayhem, dude. Truly. The amount of movement in the individual sounds is what did it for me, though. Because there's a lot of little vibrato and little pitch bends and stuff that's happening. And it's all happening in a fraction of a second. And it's all coming through loud and clear. So really great work. I mean, I think a lot of people that don't produce this type of rapid fire stuff may not quite comprehend all of the attention to detail that goes into this. Like there's so many different transient based sounds happening, and having a palette of source material to work with to allow all of the contrast to show between each sound is just, it's good. It's great. You're doing well. It's awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much. This was good. This was really good. Scattered glitches mixed good and done this way. Scratch and itch. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that, KDHD. I feel like this is just an amusement park ride. That's really what this is. I don't have anything for you on this. Just kudos and say thank you for bringing it in. Because I think all your levels are fine. You just need to release it. Everything's coming through very clearly. PPG's #1 gamer. All right, 2013 Temple Run. Let's see what it's all about. This picture right here. Look at this. Look at that smile. All right, not a lot on this one. I think I want the kick to be a little closer to me. I think it's probably the right kick, but not the right reverb. And I know that the filtered thing is an aesthetic choice, but I do believe that it's pushed just a little bit further away from us than would feel best. Maybe half the distance between where it is now and a really forward kick. Really weird and cool at 1 minute. It's definitely innovative, and I dig it. I do think there's some obfuscation happening here, like there's some competition between sounds frequency-wise that's not allowing the full clarity to happen. I think you can bring low-end cutoff up to 45 hertz, 12 dB per octave curve. Bring your pad down a little bit throughout, and then also just individually on the individual tracks throughout the music, or throughout the song, I would say roll up as much low end as you can on those. There's something in one of these that's bugging the rest of the guys in the mix. The other thing I would mention is the reverb, and just kind of wondering if any of it is being done in parallel or if it's being done in series or what. There's definitely something here that's keeping things feeling just a little bit pushed away from us. Low on cutoff up to 45 hertz, 12 dB per octave curve. Yeah. Yeah. Couch says, digging this already. I encourage everyone to keep pushing brakes. They need to come back in a huge way. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Speakmelon says, 40 seconds. I expected this big, heavy bass to come in with some fat wub rhythms. It was a really interesting build and concept. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I think so too. Weird and cool and interesting and different. Yeah, always gotta dig for more. I definitely agree with you, STP. And Couch. All right, let's see here. We got Speakmelon. Hey, Ricky's here. Excellent. Good to see your face, homie. If you're sitting there and you're wondering, should I drop a track? Should I? Drop a track. You're almost out of time. Drop it. Just put it in there. What's the worst that could happen? You end up making your music even better than it was before? You know? KDHD says, even if it faded in closer because the distant kick element started immediately, if it faded in closer, it would establish the space, but then get back in the same room as us. Great concept here. Yeah. Yeah. T-Rom and Ricky. Man, these guys, these two cats, sat in the same classroom at Pure Mind. When was that? That was, when did you guys roll through? 2017, right? Yeah. You guys are great. All right. Speakmelon. Yeah, 2017. Speakmelon says, challenge myself by using sounds I would never normally use. Theme, chaos. What started as a challenge turned into a really interesting learning experience of challenging your creative mindset to production. I didn't plan to use drums for this one, but it felt like the structure I was screaming at me to do so. I wanted to make pancakes, but they are burned since I don't take the same care as I usually do. Is this something I should dive more into? Burnt pancakes. Let's listen, shall we? That's the year you went there, in spirit. Oh, man. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm remembering how you were introduced to me now. Yeah. Man. All right, Speakmelon, let's roll. Taste these pancakes here. Burnt pancakes. It's pretty interesting. I don't know. I'd probably order them for breakfast one time just to see how they sat in my belly. You know what I mean? Because this feels like it would be a pretty interesting feeling. Like I'd leave that diner feeling like inspired and kind of shaken up somehow, I think, right? There'd definitely be a little lift in my step, for sure. It's a really, really interesting mashup of sounds. So for those that missed the fact, or the thing that I read here at the top of this, the challenge here for this track was use sounds that you would never use. And you end up with just this really interesting mashup of stuff. So you asked, should I make more of this? And I would say, yeah, you should. I don't know that the next thing you make is going to sound anything like this, because you'll be using different sounds, so you'll probably have different ideas. But I think you should, because every time you do this, you're going to learn a ton. You're going to learn something about yourself, and you're also going to learn something about producing every single time. So yeah, I would encourage you to do more. And then every once in a while, you might actually have something that's kind of commercially viable come out of it too. And if you were to put that stuff into a licensing portfolio, it stands out above all else because no one in the entire library at that place is using that palette of sounds. You know what I'm saying? And when you have a loose theme such as chaos, it does kind of become something that is applicable and relevant to a great many moments, right, in various forms of media. So you could easily find something like this, backing a little 10-second, 15-second moment in a movie or a film or a television show or commercial or something, because it has this busy and eclectic nature that's constantly defying your expectations from one second to the next. So yeah, really interesting. Really, really interesting. I would love to hear what the next challenge ends up sounding like. Now you've piqued my curiosity. Yeah. Yeah, bro. Hey, I was just talking about you, man. How you doing, Gabriel? I was just talking about you. I was using you as an example for Premium Beat. How is Premium Beat treating you, by the way? Nice. Extra burnt. Nice. Excellent. Lars Rowe, go ahead and put it in the Discord, in the public feedback channel. And we'll get ears on it. Oh, Ricky is saying, hey, what up? You still in LA? I'm in Portland. Still working for the next 20 minutes, so don't always see chat. Your tracks have been really good. Yeah, it's been a good stream so far. Really appreciate you, Ricky. Let's listen to you. Ricky, I love you. This is so disgusting and impressive and beautiful. This is just so good. Infrared ready, right? Yeah, it's so good. I feel like there's like almost an insectoid nature to this one. I don't want there to be changes. If I would rate this from a scale of 1 to 10, I would be 69 of how sexy it is, says Martin. Ricky says, this is my first bass track. I like it. Yeah, I was going to say, you've definitely taken a step to the left since the last time I heard you. This is really good stuff. This is really good stuff. Yeah, I don't want you to change this. I do want to hear more. I want to hear more. That's what I want. Maybe just a little bit of incidental, like random ear candy used just for the sake of pretty little ear candy in there. Sparingly, of course, and probably only a few in the entire track, but just something like a transition sound or something in the background that kind of flies by. And you've got a few in there. But just a couple that are kind of washy instead of prickly. Probably feel great. Speak Melon says, amazing track where there's few higher frequencies, yet you don't really notice them not being there. Yeah, that's really good. It's really good. Less is more, right? Hey, I am going to, before we play this next track, I'm going to jump over here to the DAW and hit play on this thing over here. And while I'm gone, whoever has not downloaded the subscriber rewards sound pack yet, and you happen to be subscribed, then do that. And I'm going to go to the bathroom really quick, and I'll see you guys in just a minute. Oh, well, let's get our levels right on this, though. This doesn't seem right. All right, well, okay. I'll see you guys in just a minute. I'll be right back. Mike is back. Thank you for telling me. We're going to listen to T-Rom. Thanks for telling me. This one's primeval. Yeah, yeah. Oh, T-Rom, if you don't have Soothe, you don't need it. You just use a responsive EQ if you have one, isotope or the like, fab filter, anything that can respond, right, and duck. Or if you don't have a responsive EQ, you can use a multiband compressor. It's basically the same exact thing. Just find the range that the resonance is peaking in, and then set a band that's very narrow in your multiband compressor to that exact frequency range, and then just have it duck a fair bit and set your threshold to where you're not losing much volume and presence, but it's taking out the resonant peak. It's also pretty static sound. Like the resonance is not wavering in that one very much. So you could also just do that in an EQ and like just a classic, just bring a little needle down. Dude, you've definitely had a little level up here. All 3 tracks you brought today have been great, and there's just a lot of really good choices that you're making on display, running throughout. You're doing well, dude. It's really good stuff. A little less reverb on the snare, I think. Solid vocal chop choice for this one. It runs at such a contrast, like a sharp contrast to the timbre up to this point. It's almost surprising when it shows up. Sweeping bass up just a touch, and also the one at 117. The underlying deeper bass should probably have a little saturation on it, so it rumbles just a little bit more. It's just nasty. Oh, and this little wind-up element at 310, love it. Really, really like it. Dig it. Martin says, never thought of using a multi-band compressor. You are a genius. Hey, thanks, dude. Always happy to help. T-Rom says, thanks, Chris. Learn from the best. Aw. Word that track is literally exactly what I've been trying to do, but actualized. Hey, Lo Mein, that's great. Rod Cobain, what's good? Happy Friday to you. Welcome in. Yeah, dude, just seriously, you've been doing great. You've been doing great. Super proud of you. Super proud. PBG's #1 gamer. All right, I think I'm going to go ahead and close the queue. So if you've been sitting there and thinking to myself, am I or am I not? Now is your last chance. We're going to listen to PBG's, and I'm going to close it while we're listening. This one's called Cranberry.
You
Oh, Syndromic, I love you. Just sitting here reading your comments. Everyone bringing in tracks for feedback. You got some sick vibes here. And I'm not just saying that because I want good feedback on my track because I ain't got one in the queue. So, just pure truth. Sometimes I'm going to admit to something out loud here. Sometimes when I read comments from Syndromic in the chat, I read them in the voice of Jake the dog from Adventure Time. And it makes my day. In a way, it makes me look forward even more to having Syndromic in the chat. It's just something fun you can try at home. Go ahead, try it. See what it does. PPG, this is cool. It's original. I like the palette. I think there is some stuff happening in the mid-highs and highs that you're kind of riding on the edge of pain points. For some people, this would be really grating and kind of harsh to them because of how bright and brilliant the highs are. For other people, it's just kind of fatiguing in a way. So you'll definitely want to bring those down a bit and watch for resonance throughout. You've got a couple of elements in there that are sine-based, sine wave-based sounds, and they're also being saturated in a way that the resonance is just kind of constant with it. So watch out for resonance. This little noise that happens at like 201, 204, 207, etc. It's cool. I love it. Find a way to fit another couple of weird abstract sounds somewhere into the mix. Like a guitar plugging into an amp would feel really good in this track, right? It's this kind of chunky kind of thing. And it's charged with electricity. Find a couple little noises. They don't have to be big like that. They can be tiny like the one that you have in there. Hats down a bit. Watch highs above 10K. Lead up resonance and low or high-end stuff. And you've got a pretty good one here. Stevie, the truth shall set you free. Oh, man. An exercise for the viewer. Hey, Sneezy G. How you doing, homie? Happy Friday to you. Hope you're doing well. Drummer Boy says, if I could change my DoorDash GPS voice to Jake from Adventure Time, my quality of life and work would go up dramatically. Oh, dude, I hear you. Can you just imagine? Can you just imagine? Sorry, I'm just running through the list of things that I would love to hear Jake the GPS say to me. Oh, man. I would love some snarkiness. Oh, that's just great stuff. Drummer Boy, you've just put a great idea into my head. The Low Main, you are welcome. You are welcome. Gebro! Dude, always looking forward to hearing more from you. I hope you're doing well over there. And that the year has been good to you so far. All right. Gebro saying, I need feedback for the track called Mantra. All right, let's see what your mantra is all about here, shall we? This one. We do it. All right. Gabriel, this is great. I love everything you do. Small suck back, split second in length at the first pause hesitation, which happens at 6 seconds, 7 seconds. Just a really, really tiny little, just really, really super succinct, just that. 45 seconds, nice power, raw and sweeping. Though you can push the volume envelope even more and give it even more of like a carved shape, like a right? So it feels like there's just this push, this very, very dramatic last second gust of energy, if you will. And then when you make that shape, what you've done is you've carved out enough room for a little noise-based layer or a noise-based whoosh that you can layer in. And you do it at a very low velocity and just set it on a linear curve. So when you get to the end of this section, it crescendos near full volume. And what that does is it'll reinforce that carved shape that you've put in there. And it'll make it feel like there's this extra force, this propulsion behind it. Wanting noise-based accents on the vocalizations and the uhs at the very top of these peaks. Just a little or something like that in each one. Kind of your vocalizations are altering a little bit, so alter the shape of them just slightly, and then make them mostly wet and layer them in there at a tiny little, like, subtle layer level. So there's just like this little kiss of brightness at the top of them. It'll feel really nice. 226, ending this when you've got like this big like decrescendo moment where it's just like kind of like ticking clock in the outro here. If you were to put in little pitched up echoes, vocal embellishments in there, and perhaps a little dusting as some kind of brilliant little chime or something like that that kind of rattles out. Just imagine that, right? The tiny little upper frequency bits before you leave. New John Wick confirmed, says Martin. Might be one of the ballerina girls taking a spot. Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Oh, interesting. Gabriel, this one's great. It was really, really good. I love this. So good. Martin, it is you. Oh, and you know what I didn't do? I didn't close the queue. All right. Here. All right, let's see what Martin's made.
I feel
try to not believe, because I fell too deep. I'm lost eternally. I've been chasing, I feel wasted.
There's this kind of forced feeling in this right now where I'm hearing this one pulse here. I'm going to find it here for you at 138. This guy, just a little bong, bong, that guy. That guy is the one that's at the right volume level here. And there's just a few things that aren't. I think the snare can come down a bit. The bass can come down a bit. It feels like we're being forced. And the reason why I feel that, I think, is because the vocals are right and that pulse is right. This is missing the kind of almost understated, like controlled restraint that you show typically before the full mix is unleashed. Okay, yeah, so bass down, I was thinking that immediately. Super dope vibe. Vocal a little more on top. The arp, I think it can be moved to the right and then down a few and kind of push back behind the vocals to a more supportive position. Yeah, those are the big standout things for me. Yeah, this track is smooth, right? Yeah, the sine pluck is great. And I think that it should be able to cut through better because it's a highly resonant, pure sine wave sound, right? So it shouldn't really have a problem cutting through. And I think that you could also play around with a delay on it. If you were to start with a really tiny delay, like a sample delay even, right? So you're offsetting it by amount of milliseconds, which would create the channel domination preference, right? Like you could just delay it in the left so it appears to be more in the right. And then if you were to play around a little bit with some tape delay off of that, I think it'd be really nice. Something really tasteful. Yeah, you bet. Yeah, Anthony's saying this is nice. I want more upfront vocals. Yeah, I love you too, sir. Yeah, usually your stuff sounds exactly like what Anthony is describing here. Gave you ideas. Excellent. Excellent. Potter and Music, welcome in. Happy Friday. Many games, it's all good. No worries. But the queue is now closed, so. All right, Larsra, it is you. Oh, that's funny. Benny, it's quite all right. I was just reading through the chat thread here. Don't mind Zen, he's harmless. All right, Larsra, let's do this. This one is called Feel Without You.
Take the sun from the shore, bring the rain to my door. I'll be numb to the core till you return. 'Cause you take the rain and wash it away. Hold back the night and bring back the day. You got the love and I got the empty space. I just leave the storm in my head. 'Cause I don't wanna rest till you return. Oh, you take the rain and wash it away. Hold back the night and bring back the day. You got the love and I got the empty space. No, I don't wanna feel without you. To feel without you. You're feeling it all. No, I don't wanna feel without you. To feel without you. They're feeling it
Dude, this is so good. So good. So good. Like maybe just a touch of saturation on the vocals for just a little bit more surface texture and also help it maintain top position. Because there are times where I'm like, I want the vocal to be just a little bit more up top and just a little bit more forward, but I don't want it pushed, you know? And this ARP is dope. Also, I feel like it's just a little bit dry and competitive toward the end of the vocals. So you could set up maybe a sidechain situation between them. Really great track. Really good stuff. STP saying, love the second drop. Yeah. Lots of good comments. Martin fell in love. I do agree. I do agree about Armada, Ajuna, Selected. Yep. Yeah, I think chat is in alignment around this one. Really great track. Fix up those couple of things and get it out. Every day that it's sitting on your hard drive is another day that it's not getting the listens that it could be. It's a solid one. Kandango? Django. It's a great name. Kandango Django. It's for a pitch. Okay. It is time. I want to hear more too, Martin. Absolutely. It does have Ajuna written all over it. It really does. It's true. Anthony, can I say, it's just, it's been nice having you back in the mix. It's good seeing your VIP diamond still shiny over there. All right. Let's hear this one. It's called Potpourri. Rough mix, though? All good. That's what we're here for. It's supposed to be a work in progress, or it just doesn't count, you know? Man, that ARP sounds like an OhmLab ARP, doesn't it? This was fun. Velvet Goat Cheese saying, "Hiya, folks. This is brilliant. Please forgive the association, but makes me think of Mike Patton." I would also strongly agree with that statement. It's fantastic. There's so much happening here. And as things progressed, I wanted to type less about what I wanted and wanted to just kind of experience what I was experiencing because, wow, this is really cool. It's like a complete journey. Yeah. So I think maybe some active volume automation would be cool because in the very beginning, it'd be awesome if that acoustic guitar actually actively came up and kind of dominated for a bit, and then it kind of came back down to where it is now. That weird bass is really cool in the beginning. If it was to start quiet and then grow into its full peak volume, and it can even come up a bit from where you have it right now. So I think there's a couple of different things like right out the gates where if there was a little bit more change over time with volume, it would feel cool. And I think that there's a lot of change in this track and that would be a really nice kind of precursor, kind of a foreshadowing, if you will, to have a fair bit of volume automation happening in the beginning. All right, so the really weird synth that starts at 116, it's glitchy and it kind of goes all over the place. It's running right behind the organ on the right. It needs to be moved to the left for separation, I think. It's buried. It's super cool. Oh, actually, this is the one that I was thinking should actually be split instead of being put onto the left side, that it should be split up into both channels and removed from the middle completely. Take out the low frequencies, so you're basically left with the low, mids, and up. So you can hear like the tomish kind of timbre range, but then mostly it's about those upper textures. And then I think that carries through for the track. Really dreamy, really enchanting, very cool. Very neat stuff. Syndremic, you don't smell toast. You are the toast. Yes, yes, yes. My furniture is levitating. Oh, the chat has gone off the rails. It's great. Oh, man. Cobain says, this got to be put into a game, to be honest. Right? STP says, nice creativity. I would second that emotion. It's the opening of the new project. Yeah, it's all mono yet. Okay. Yeah. So this is just the beginning. It makes me want to hear so much more of what you do. It breaks the rails. Yes. It's true. Oh, there are no rails. The rails have been usurped. All right, Cobain. Shall we do this? Yeah, definitely. Django, and you should bring more by too. We do it every single Friday, the feedback thing. So, all right, Cobain says video just needs lyrics edited in, but the song's done. Excellent.
I wanna go to LA.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to move this over to the other screen so we can go full screen here and back this up. All right, let's roll.
I wanna go to LA.
Turn this world down to the endless pit. Now I gotta bury that bitch. Toss a little dirt and take my fit. Thinking that I really had it. Slid through my fingers and I had to get. And they didn't get locked in. I feel like I'm an abandonment. Smoking way too. Smoking way too. She said want some more. Smoking way too. Smoking way too. She said want some more. You cannot outrun the wild. Who let go man out the catch?
All right. All right. Cobain. Here's what I got for you. I love the Snoop Cribs. It's nice that he decided to do a little cameo on your video. 808, down 3 dB. Snare, down 2 dB. Looping background vocal, down 4 dB. Backing horns, up 5 dB during the outro. You might also want to hit the horns with just a little bit of overdrive. No real gain or drive being added. Just target like 5K, 7K, and get you a little bit of extra ring at the top of those horns. A little extra brilliance. It'll contrast nicely with all of the distortion harshness, you know? Poor guy. Poor guy. 6 cars. You know, honestly though, didn't it kind of look like Snoop didn't really even know what to do with the space? You know what I mean? Like there's nothing going on in there. He's just like, man, I don't know, man. When I get home, like I just get high and I chill, and like I don't use this dining room or that dining room. Or that dining room. Like, oh, man. I barely have enough electricity to watch this stream. Oh, man. You are funny, Zen. I appreciate you so much, man. All right. Xavi says, might be loud. P.S. This beat was from YouTube. I just need feedback on the mix and master. All right. If I stop running on this treadmill, I lose internet. But he says, I barely have Wi-Fi. I'm at McDonald's. Man, this is the state. It's the state of our world right now. Barely hanging on. One beat to the next. All right, this is Lose My Mind.
You take all my love today.
All right. So there's a couple things happening here. It doesn't really feel like the song is being allowed to really explode outward or up. And that's because of the limiting and the compression. So you do need to back off of that to regain some of the peaks, because all of the peaks are just being cut off. So that's why it sounds like it's loud, and you try to make it louder, but you're not getting more power from the loudness. You're getting less power because of the loudness. It's counterintuitive, but it's the way that it works. Turning it up more will only increase that outcome, unfortunately. So less reverb on the mix if you can. It will help the vocals stay on top consistently throughout the song. And there is a kind of a warble to the mix because of the wall that everything is running into, the limiting on it. So try to back off that. I know that you've downloaded the track. You don't have access to all the moving parts of the music. But just for future reference on tracks that you're working on, the loudness is hurting the integrity of the music, and then that takes away from the overall impact of the music, right? So there's like a loss of velocity. I like the panning with the fill. Yeah, I don't really have a lot of critiques in regards to the arrangement. I think it's fine. I think the track that you picked is fine. I think your vocals did a pretty good job of staying up on top. A pretty powerful delivery. Benny says, I need pizza. Sneezy says, extra distortion on the pan fill was nice. Yeah, I agree there. Yeah. And twitching, you can submit through the Discord, but I think, well, wait, are we at the end here? Hold on a second. We got 1, 2, 3. Lars, we just listened to one from you, right? And if you want to put one in, we do have the bandwidth to do that. I think we can get away with that. Xavier, you are welcome. Absolutely. Drummer boy, it is you. Wait, what? There we go. I have to remember how computers work. D major jam, February. This is great. This is great. I think it's a great working title. Drummer Boy says it's a lame working title. I need something cooler. I don't know. All right. This is great. I love it. I love it. You've been on a streak lately, drummer boy. Lovely intro. It's kind of got a Mass Effect kind of feel to it, but with guitar. I feel like pad can probably come down about 5 dB. Digital percussion elements can be moved to the sides and just take them out of the center completely. Bass down 4 dB, maybe only 2. ARP can have a filter mod running on it slowly, unsynced, cut off like 20 to 40% depth. Strings up a bit in this section, around 420. Just let them shine. I feel like there could be a little bit more volume automation throughout, like for instance, the strings coming up around 420 for this section and letting them kind of have this moment and the ARP having another moment, and just kind of change it up a little bit. So there's a little bit more change over time, and it feels like there is a flow to it, not just floatiness in it, right? And what are people in the chat saying? Everything is great in this. Everyone is loving this. Pew pews are a little bit loud, says Zin. Benny is riding a dragon in his backyard on this song. Zin says maybe some high-end harmonies. I was in my mind, I was hearing a little bit of call and response between the main melody in the middle and something kind of tinkling up high. So I kind of feel that a little bit. Very much a floater, yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. Sneezy G. It's you. Let's do this. Eavesdropper's Nightly Extravagance. Ooh. The name. The white background. Somehow the waveform is more white than the white background. All right, Sneezy G. The super low sub, it needs to come down in volume, and you should probably roll your low and cutoff up to about 40 hertz or so. The reason I say that is because when you have kind of high decibels with the lower frequencies, it triggers a lot of like fight or flight type stuff. So this one's pretty kind of almost like whimsical almost in the way that it comes across in all of the other frequencies in play. So I do kind of question that. I personally had rolled the low end cutoff up to about 40 hertz, 12 dB per octave, and then that would bring down those lowest frequencies enough for it to be settled. You got some weirdness happening in this one. It reminded me a little bit of a calliope kind of a thing. Yeah, I'm wondering what you're going to do with this one. This one has a... Oh, nice, Wolfie. It has kind of like a... Yeah, as Benny says, scary but chill. Lars Rowe, no, I didn't say that. I was just saying, no, we weren't playing the last of the music yet. That wasn't my last song. That's what I was saying. Yeah, right, Zen? No bad music here. Absolutely. Sneezy, you know what I was thinking of when I was listening to this was animation. Like I can see some weird and twisted animation being really brought to life by something like this. There's some interesting stuff happening in this one. The low main says everything played today has been on scale from good to interesting. And Sneezy G music saying some of it is not standard tuning. I think that's what I like most about it, honestly, is the fact that it isn't set in key, so there's no chance of expectations usurping the experience. It's good stuff. And yeah, I hear you, Lomain. I feel like Friday is the day. You know, people wait all week. They bring their tracks here because they know they've got something legit. I just want to make it better, you know? All right. Benny. Going from Sneezy to Benny. This one's Essay. Oh, yeah, of course, Sneezy. Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you're not, if you don't have a way to monitor your subs at home when you're working, just make sure you have a meter open and take a look at it as you're working to make sure that frequencies way down low aren't getting way up high. All right, Benny, let's do this one. This one's called Essay. This is a cool shot, by the way. It's hard to get a really interesting shot of the night sky, and this is cool. All right, honestly, if this were me and this were my track, I would flip it entirely. I feel like the loudness in it is running against the theme of the song. You've got a sax that's really kind of buried, and a bass that's really dominant, and a kick that's like, it's making sure nothing else can really have like a settled position in the mix. So if you were to start making changes to this, first it would be back off limiting, bring the sub bass channel down 10 dB and the kick down 8 dB, bring the sax up 5 dB, maybe 7, bring your pad down 10 dB. And basically all of this is just bringing everything down and bringing the sax up a bit so the sax can be heard. Now the vocals need to come up a little bit too, but they can be saturated just a little bit first. And it's kind of tough to say that because everything is clipping right now. So everything is like saturated in this weird way, but it shouldn't be, I don't think. That's just my opinion on this. I think that the clipping and the loudness is a distraction and that it's kind of hurting your chances of people really jumping on board with you with this track. That's what I got for you on this one. As far as the arrangement goes, I think the arrangement is good, and I think your palette is good. Aside from the kick, I think it could have a more subtle kick. Yeah, this is first kind of music. Yeah. Rob's here. How you doing, Rob? Happy Friday to you. Yeah, this is, well, that's just it, Benny, is that you can't always undo something from loud volume by just simply turning it down. What you want is the opposite. What you want is to give someone the opportunity to turn it up, because if there is an opportunity to turn it up, it might actually get a little bit better still when you turn it up, right? But when it's already at or past its peak maximum volume, the integrity has been broken and that's baked into the file. So even if you turn it down, it's still going to sound like it clipped, like it's got this distortion to it. So if you're looking for that distorted appeal, you can get that in a different way, and you can bake that into the sound without pushing it to this point where it's fatiguing for the listener. So it really depends on what your end goal is, like what your target sound is. So if you want the distorted thing with the chill kind of old school lounge style, then that's great. But I would approach it differently, and I would only distort maybe 1 or 2 items in the mix. Yeah, I think that this one is just being kind of pushed in a way that it doesn't really need to be, and that you actually have a pretty good track here if you were to flip it in a more kind of gentle direction. Absolutely. Rob, if you've got one and you want to put it in, I will let you. Lars Rowe. Let's do it. Most of your tracks are clipping. Now, is it intentional, or do you wish they weren't doing that? It's your style. You're not sure. Yeah. So see, the thing is if it really is your style and it's something that you're actually wanting to do, there's a way to do it in a tasteful way, and people will get on board with you with it. But the way that it is now, unfortunately, people won't. So, but you keep coming back. We'll help you get to the sound that you actually want. All right. Lars, it is you. This one's called The Thrill.
You follow my orders, it's not what I ordered. I'm too close for comfort, you got me cornered. I'm getting impatient, you're getting complacent. Don't wanna see you naked unless you walk your fine ass out the door. Why don't you call me? I'm getting lonely, I need my baby. You're obsessing, it's crazy. Don't call me baby, I should have warned you.
Did you try to get a hold of me? Did you try to pull an ace from your sleep? No, that's not gonna be easy. Wait till you see what I see. Hang up the phone, don't call me back. You're too sweet, I get a heart attack. Goodbye. Too far. You say, why don't you call me? I'm getting lonely. I need my baby. You're obsessing, it's crazy. Don't call me baby. I should have warned you. Don't get infatuated. I'm just a thrill. Don't make it complicated. Whoop. You over exaggerated just for the thrill. That shit's too complicated. Why don't you call me? I'm getting lonely. I need my baby. You're obsessing, it's crazy. Don't call me baby. I should have warned you. Don't get infatuated. I'm just a thrill. Don't make it complicated. Whoop. You over exaggerated just for the thrill. That shit's too complicated. Don't get infatuated. I'm just a thrill. Don't make it complicated. Whoop. You over exaggerated just for the thrill. That shit's too complicated. You're just a thrill.
All right, this is rad, Lars. I think this is really, really great. I love the texture and vibration on this bass, especially. It does want to be trimmed up a bit down low. Add a low shelf and remove around 8 dB from 100 hertz down and see how that feels to you. I think it will fit better with the kick, and it should clean up a lot in your track. You have a little bit of bloat occurring. You can hear it around 234. I wrote about it here. Some of it is as high as like 350. So taking a bunch of these lower frequencies out of the bass from 100 down will probably help a great deal in that effort. And then just go through the individual tracks after that and see what you can skinny up in a similar fashion. I think that your mixing by and large is really great. So I wouldn't add a new cut. I'd probably use a shelf to shore up the low end wherever you're trying to tap down peaks. And that way you don't run into any kind of phasing issue because you're really on the edge of being done here. So what you don't want is to go in there and start making a mess of things for yourself. So great use of the ding with the bell. I feel like at 150, the vocals are being pushed just a little bit here. In general, I think you can back off the limiting a little bit. The LUFs are just a little bit high. Great use of the stereo spectrum. Fantastic fill moment there. This is really great. This is really fantastic. Tate McRae would love this. Where's an intro? Is a bit off now. This is just a hit, says Martin. Yeah. K-pop pitch. I love it. If you're pitching the same folks with both tracks, they're going to love you. It's really good stuff. All right, let's see if Rob put something in there. Hey! I don't see anything, but I do see something from Surgix. And then, hey, there's Rob. Okay. Okay, so let's listen to Lysurgix and Rob. Whew, just made it. It's like, whew. Lysurgix, let's do this. This one is called Rhythm Brazilian Trap. Looking forward to this one. Yeah, Lysergics, I dig this concept. I think your LUFs are a bit high. I bring it down. Remove subs from the kick. The bass that comes in at 52 seconds, it kind of swallows everything from that point forward in the mix. And I think you need to find a way. I mean, you could name the track Bass Swallows Music and it would work just the way that it is. But I think that you could find a way to make it a little bit more cooperative with the rest of your mix. I would keep it out of the compression chain, process the rest of the stuff separately from the bass. I think it's strong enough as it is. And overbearing when it's included. It might just be a matter of you needing to bring it down in great measure. At 159, this moment, the little change up, the fill felt a little confused. I think tighter direction and more succinct action there. You could even go so far as to drop everything out for just a split second. Just for like a blink of silence almost. That might feel really good there. Amidst that chaos. It's kind of hard to judge with the bass being what it is, but I felt like there was some other volume work that needed to be done there as well. Like the guitar felt like it might be a little bit loud. I'm kind of unsure, honestly. I think the bass needs to come down to be able to judge that better. But the concept of the rhythm Brazilian trap is pretty cool, and I think you can find a way to make it work. I do. Biowolf, we'll listen to it. That's fine. And KDHD, Chris is asking, hey, where do you like the LUFs to sit, Chris? I know a lot of people who are shooting for Neg 3 LUFs for dubstep. I don't like Neg 3 LUFs for anything. For a few different reasons. One, you're hurting your listeners, and your listeners are the people that will hopefully someday support you. It's just not good for the integrity of the sound. It's just going past the point of good. There is a point at which you can turn things up still and have it be better. It feel better. Like at the end of a mix, as the end listener, end user, turn up the dial, it feels better. But we've gone way past that with Neg 3. Like you can't really do that with Neg 10 even with most things, because there is no dynamic flux left to give. It's already been pushed to the absolute maximum. So I really don't like it as a stopping point for anyone for any style, to be perfectly frank. Yeah, I think what you're saying is correct. KDHD is saying, I think the knowledge of knowing how to get a mix sitting at Neg 3 LUFs is more useful than actually having a mix at Neg 3 LUFs. Yes, just because we can does not necessarily mean we should. And I think that we can hear the truth of the matter when we audition these things at different levels. And unfortunately, I think that the people that are being sold on this idea have been kind of taken advantage of, to be perfectly frank. Because it's confused quantity and quality, and they're not the same. It's not equatable, and it will not stand the test of time. It just simply will not. It will not persist. It just won't. It cannot. It's not a sustainable trend. You can turn up older music still and make it louder, but you cannot turn down the louder, newer music and have it feel better. You just can't. It's just not the way it works. It's kind of like taking a small grainy image and trying to enlarge it. Like, no, look, it's a big image, but it's low def now. Like it's already been affected. We can't undo that fact. So we got to work in the opposite direction. Yeah. I'm not against loudness. You can turn stuff up if you want it loud. But once you go past the point of maximum loudness, then you just can't argue with what's in front of you. Like when things are deteriorating, unless it's the end goal, it's not it's not going to be sought out by enough people to keep it relevant and validated and all of that kind of stuff that needs to happen kind of in the mainstream realms, right? If you want to cook up something that's like, you know, just exploring the edges of extremes, that's another thing entirely. But I think, again, it's so easily seen the quality of output and experience at these different levels. And if you are making noise and working at extremes, then you're putting different kind of content in front of those loud extreme numbers anyway. So it's a totally different conversation. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think some folks have been taken advantage of, and now it's a matter of keeping up with the Joneses, trying to keep pace, and it's kind of sad because the talent that is not going to be appreciated after the fact is huge. It's profound because we're talking about potentially a generation's worth of music that will eventually just completely fall off entirely, way faster than it should have, which is unfortunate. It is what it is. It is what it is. And I totally agree with Beowulf as saying, well, Luff's kind of depends on the genre. Absolutely. Absolutely. I would never push jazz to like Neg 6 or something, but there are absolutely bass tracks that they actually bloom around that point. You know what I mean? So there are points at which you got to argue in the direction of the loudness. But in most cases, you can't take an existing genre and just push it to that extreme and have it become better just simply because of that loudness. So, yeah. Anthony says, mixing is a fight against voltage and air. When you push things too far, it literally starts to suffocate. Yeah, it's true. It is true. Yeah, there are tipping points, and you just can't deny the physics of it. Now, what you can do is you can exploit the physics of it, right? And you can arrive at new genres and standards and stuff that way, which we have. But I think we are seeing what limits are. I think that's what we are experiencing. Lomaine says, this is a left field question, but what did you mean by eclectic palette earlier? I feel like I know exactly what you mean by it, but would love to hear you elaborate on the idea of an eclectic palette. Okay, so an eclectic palette is a palette is the group of sounds that you've chosen to work with in a project. That's what I mean by palette. And when I say eclectic palette, what I'm saying is it's incredibly varied. It's not adhering to just one specific curated approach or theme. It has got a bit of wild range to it to allow for greater contrast and interest. Rob is here saying, I haven't done much in the past to much work at the moment, but your feedback always motivates and gives me a kick to get something done. Big love, Rob. Let's roll. This one's called Songs of Fogwood. Yo, Rob, I think this is cool. It's got a nice lurk vibe to it. I'd vary the sub bass element a bit more over time and get some saturation on it, which is also modulating over time, just to increase the interest and visibility. I think the piano has potential for a little glitch or mangling or maybe even some resampling. Be a good vibe for this, I think. Overall, the biggest thing that I have here is that I did kind of crave another top line element at times in this, like a whole nother character being added in here that could be melodic. Aside from that, you could also go in direction of some dialogue samples. I feel could also kind of fill space in a similar way. Something to follow along over time. I think either of those would help. Well, Wolfess, let's do this. This one's called Sorbet. Any frequency things? It's first I made on my own Modu M6 interface. Yeah, it does have a touch of the kind of Minecrafty zone out kind of vibe to it, doesn't it, Anthony? Yeah. No, not really. I mean, there's a lack of clarity in a couple of spots. But I feel like that's just EQ. And I mean, your synths are flying right over the top of the bass, so it's not like it's a whole muddy mix or anything. It's more just like the individual sounds. Like that bass can probably have a little bit scooped out around, like, I don't know, maybe 400 or so. There feels like a little bit of a thickness that maybe doesn't need to be there, and then that could help create a little bit more room and clarity for the bottom of the piano, and so on and so forth. Bio. Let's do it. Sorbet. Everybody loves sorbet.
I like the way you move, yeah, I like it. The way you find the groove, can't fight it. The way your body sways is electric. The way your body sways is electric. I like the way you move, yeah, I like it. The way you find the groove, can't fight it. The way your body sways is electric. Electric. Don't try, it's game, love or die. Long nails, sharp clothes, and a pitfall. Don't move, don't try, it's game, love or die. Long nails, sharp clothes, and a pitfall. Don't move, don't try, it's game, love or die. I feel like wolf tonight.
All right, Bio, I think you can bring back the electric sample, maybe towards the end there. I think you'll find a clever place for it, but it's going to be right before this whole thing ends, I think. 55 seconds. Second transition effect layered in there would be nice, just for interest, a little bit more complex. Piano can come down by a good 5 dB or so. Regarding your comment about the clarity of the vocals you mentioned, you can use a little bit of saturation to enhance the edge of the delivery, which can help a bit. It'll help you more well define the delivery. And then lastly, I'd vary the depth and other parameters of the compression, ducking, the sidechain stuff you've got going on, and treat sounds individually instead of ducking everything together. And this will make it all feel a lot more organic and a less predictable. Now, aside from all the technical stuff, your palette of sounds is great, your arrangement is great, your energy is really super solid. I think this is a good track. I think it's really good. Syndremic is onto something when he's saying the chords, the piano are fighting against the vocals a little bit, so I'd move them out to the sides, leave the vocals in the middle where there is less competition. You do treat everything individually. Okay, so then something must be very similar in how you're setting it up on each one. I would just create a difference in there. I would set one to have a different ratio, set attack just to be slightly different, release to be slightly different. You can even make the knee a little bit different. Your lower end elements can be ducked a little bit deeper than your higher end elements maybe. Yeah, just a little bit more variation in there so the timing isn't also super in sync with one another, and then it'll feel a little bit more organic. Yeah, I like this. I like this track. I think it has quite a bit of potential, really. Where are we at? We're at 2:30. We went over by a fair bit. Let's do two things. First, I just want to mention that everyone that's here that is currently subbed, remind you really quick, go grab your rewards from subscriber rewards, because the pack that's in there, it's going to get taken down. New pack going up next week for you. So that's great. And everyone that is subbed will get that one for free as well. So if you're not currently subbed, it might be a good way to get yourself a bunch of sounds because it's a lot of stuff. All right, now that that's done, let's just go see who's doing what over here. Who can we go visit, huh? Oh. Anthony says, I'd slam the vocals and mix it in parallel to start. Bio says, I tried making the vocals a bit clearer by using saturation, but I only managed to oversaturate. Don't use anything with real distortion in it, right? Don't look for adding drive to it. Add overdrive. Keep it really simple. You don't even need to add anything. Just borrow the circuitry of the plugin itself and then target around 7K. And you'll get some more clarity out of that bad boy. All right, let's see who's up. Appreciate you all. We're going to do it again. It's a couple of days. What do we got here? We have a guest DJ on Becky's channel. Is that right? Or does she have a collab or something? Let's go see what's going on with Becky. I'm not seeing with great clarity what's happening here. Oh no, she has a guest on. All right, we're going to go visit. Everybody stick around for the raid. Appreciate you guys. Oh, Syntax, I'm seeing your track here. We are closed for the day, but bring it by next week and we'll listen to it. All right, kitty cats, I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the flip. Have a great weekend. Stay inspired. Peace out.